If you are watching this video, I assume you know what's going on recently when it comes to ESXi. In this article, you can see even the company name is changed to by Broadcom. It says it's the end of GA for ESXi 7 and 8, and there's no equivalent replacement. This is a sad news. Especially the free ESXi has been serving me very well for years, but it's time to move on. In my home lab, I have multiple ESXi servers. It will be a big decision when it comes to what hypervisor I will migrate them to. In this video, let me try Proxmox, specifically Proxmox VE. I decided to use a 1U Supermicro for this testing. It's built in 2019, not very old. And it has just one Xeon CPU, one socket, 4 cores, and 8 threads. Perfect for a free ESXi build. Especially it has 6 10 gigabit RJ45 ports, which I need the most. So I choose this particular machine for today's testing. I will compare the installation of ESXi and Proxmox side by side. I will use the same 1 terabyte hard drive as the installation target instead of a SSD. Then I will compare the hardwares detected during regular installation, the iPerf 3 testing from the ESXi and Proxmox themselves, the ISO file copying performance, virtual machine installation time comparison, virtual machine boot time comparison, and the benchmarks within the virtual machines. Okay, let's start with the installation. I boot the installation medium from the USB thumb drive. It's very slow, but that's the typical installation way for me. Okay, so as you can see, the ESXi needs a lot of time to even show up the very first dialog, and the Proxmox already started long ago. However, once ESXi started the interactions with users, the installation moves very fast, but the Proxmox just stuck at 3% with the logical volume creation. Okay, so ESXi already done within 6.5 minutes, and the Proxmox is still 3%. Once the logical volume is created, all of a sudden the installation is almost done already. Okay, so after about 10 minutes, yes, Proxmox installation is done. So the ESXi wins. During the regular installations, both hypervisors recognized my hardware perfectly. I don't need any menu changes. I created data store for the NVMe SSD. And these are the 10 gigabits RJ45 ports. As you can see, ESXi has all 6 listed as 10 gigabits already, but Proxmox doesn't tell me what's the speed. No big deal, because Proxmox is based on Debian Linux. Let me go to shell, check the device name for my network interface. Okay, so VMBR0, then S2. Okay, it tells me it is 10 gigabits. I am interested in the network performance within the hypervisor themselves, not from virtual machine. So let me try the iPerf 3 testing from ESXi and Proxmox. For ESXi, it comes with iPerf 3. You don't need to manually install it. However, to enable it, we need to open up the firewall. Then I can proceed the testing. First, let me test the upload. You can see it's not very ideal. It's just 6-7 gigabits. Then test the download. It's almost the same, less than 7 gigabits. Now switch to Proxmox. Of course, I already installed iPerf3 manually using apt, just like in normal Linux. The performance is much better in Proxmox. It's close to 10 gigabit for upload. Then try download. Okay, the download is worse than upload, similar as in ESXi. To install VMs, I prefer to copy the ISO files to the hypervisor, so the network copy speed is very important to me. So let me test it. For the same Debian 12 DVD ISO, 4 gigabytes, the destination is the same 1 terabyte hard drive, not SSD. The file copy completely finished in Proxmox very soon, within 48 seconds, but the ESXi side still going. Very disappointing performance. It's ready to start installing Linux virtual machine. In both sides, I configured the same virtual machine hardware configurations. 8 CPU, 8 GB of memory, 50 GB of hard drive, stored in the NVMe, and 10 GB NIC. Now let me start the Debian 12 installation. By the way, I'm using the DVD ISO as the installation medium, which means during the installation process, the network performance is not a factor. The installations cost the same amount of time for the two hypervisors, which is expected, no surprise. Now the virtual machines are installed. Let me compare their boot performance. Okay, Proxmox is a little bit faster, no big deal. Now let me test the iPerf3 performance within virtual machine. Start with the ESXi virtual machine. As you can see, the upload speed is close to 10 gigabit, pretty good. Then what about the download? Yeah, it's very bad, just about 5 gigabit. Then switch to virtual machine in Proxmox. For upload, yeah, the same good speed, close to 10 gigabit. For download, not as good as upload, but better than ESXi. The last test, to run sysbench within virtual machine to test CPU performance. Start with the ESXi. I use 8 CPU threads in the testing. This is the result. Let me put it here. Switch to Proxmox. Okay, the result is back. If you compare the two results side by side, you can see they are almost identical, which is expected as well. Okay, all of my planned testings are done. Let me summarize. My first impressions to Proxmox VE are pretty good. I feel as a Homelabber, the functionalities for Proxmox are good enough already. And to be fair to both hypervisors, I didn't do any fine-tunings or optimizations. For example, you may know to improve the iPerf3 performance, I can do a lot of optimizations such as increase the MTU, right? I didn't do that, just want to have the raw performance comparison results. Okay, in the future, I'm going to test other functionalities or even try other hypervisors. Thanks for watching.